Hey team, still fighting this cold here. Sorry I sound like a bit of a monster, but we're gonna get through this. We will survive. So as promised, here is a closer look of how we built and formed up these bullnose stairs. That is your classic not straight board from Home Depot. You can see it's kind of screwed on both sides. And I've never been a fan of table saws carrying them around, so we snapped our lines and we squared it up. We're using a 2x6, but we only needed 4 inches, including that mitered edge, to make it work for a 6-inch stair. So I've mitered the bottom and I've trimmed the top to our exactly 4 inches, and that leaves enough room for a 2-inch bullnose. So a bullnose is just a protruding edge that overhangs the step itself. And because we're doing timber stamp, I've done this before. We're using a textured edge. So we're using smart trim or hardy board trim. And that's the trim that goes on your house on the corners and around the windows in some cases. And it leaves a wood grain when you pour concrete up against it. So our dimensions for the bullnosing are 2 inches tall, and we're giving it an 1.25 inch overhang. So we snapped our line on the form there, and we're going to use 4-inch screws every foot to secure it to the form. Now, if you've also noticed, we've put a 2x4 on its edge across the whole face of that form, and that's just going to make it more rigid, and it's going to give more stability to the stair and give ourselves somewhere to attach the pins to, and so on and so forth. Here we are here. This is a little extra detail. It's probably not totally necessary, but when you strip these bullnose forms out, they gotta come down and out. So when you have a sharp edge like that on your 2x4, it creates a pinch point. And the last thing you want to do is break an edge off when you're stripping a form. So we just used this trimmer from Makita, and we kind of cheated. We pulled the guide off because it didn't fit the router bit. It's just meant for trimming and cutting. So we pulled the guide off, and then we ran that trimmer across and sanded it smooth, so that form should pop right out of there. Now here we are doing the rebar on the rest of the patio here that we're pouring. We're about 1,600 square feet in total. We've got this one on the books for Wednesday of next week, and we've got a similar one to pour on Friday of next week. So it's going to be a busy couple days here. Still got some more prep details on this one, so we will keep you posted. And with these bullnosing, we usually add fiber mesh into the concrete mix, but it's kind of a big job to add fiber mesh to the whole order, and I don't want to charge the clients extra. So we're just going to do this rebar mesh or this wire mesh instead, and we're going to make sure that it hangs right into that bullnosing. We still have to put some stringers on there as well to give it some more support.